You are one of the founders of ThrillerFest, and now it's the 10-year anniversary. How does it feel?
It feels really strange. I don't feel 10 years older. I was one of the authors that was there originally when we all got together at BoucherCon, which is a big fan festival, mystery fan festival, back 10 years ago, or 11 years ago actually. I had just got my first book contract, and my editor at Kensington said, you know, there's this new organization founding called ITW. It's got a lot of nice names attached to it. You should check it out and get involved, get your name out there. Because I'd been a newspaper editor for 25 years, but I had not written a single thriller. She said, you need to learn a new community, which is true. So I called Gail Linz, who was one of the co-founders of ITW, and said, can I do anything? I'm a fellow, escaped journalist just like you, because she had also been a reporter before she turned to spy thrillers. And I said, what can I do for you? She says, oh, you're volunteering? Oh, we got lots of things. Our meeting is going to be in Chicago, which is my hometown. So she said, do you have a car? I said, yeah. Can you go with our treasurer, vice president, and pick up liquor and snacks for the big meeting? And I said, I totally can do that. So my first professional thing to do with ITW was, getting about $500 worth of liquor and snacks for the meeting.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It was great. I mean, you met everybody, and you were the hailed hero. So that's how it all started. Was I didn't have a book out yet, but I had a contract. And I had a car, and they needed something, and I started meeting people, and right away I got heavily involved with ThrillerFest management, and I've kept a hand in it ever since. I don't pretend to run everything or run anything, but I started the pitch fest that we had earlier, where authors pitch their works to front of agents. I was the first director of that.
Oh, was that your idea?
It was Kathy Antrim's idea. She was executive director of ThrillerFest at the time, and she was the getaway driver on the liquor, and she was the one with the ITW credit card. I was the driver, so we got to be good friends. And she said, "I have this idea. Do you want to run this thing? This pitching, it's like speed dating for agents and authors." I said, yeah, that sounds like fun. So we set it up together. I ran the thing, recruited the agents, we got the word out to authors, and then it took off from there.
The FAQ for it is very funny also.
That was me, yes. I didn't love puppies and walking on the beach then, so as I do now. But the facts was fun to write. We'd gone a couple of years without it, and one of my roles is answering questions from potential attendees. So I used to get hundreds of emails, sometimes 1,000 of people considering coming, and they had all these questions. How do I pitch? What if I faint in the middle of it? Just all kinds of really anxiety, because they're pitching their work to people who matter. So I did a lot of reassuring and helping them work on their pitches and their letters and all that kind of stuff. And I just grew to like that role, so that's what I've continued doing ever since. But a couple of years of that, I was burning out. I said, I need to write a fax. And so I talked to the executive director and said, I want to write this big honking long fax, and I'm just gonna do it. And I'm gonna do it funny, because I hate reading faxes. I hate the boring, okay, take, I-94 to, I wanted to do it funny. We're writers. We're supposed to have fun with this.
Yeah, be creative with it.
So why not do it? So that's what I did. So
it was so entertaining to read it.
I put on a pot of coffee, and 5 hours later, we had a 5,000-word fax. And I set it off, and the executive director, who by then was Kimberly Howe, said, this is awesome, let's put it up. And that cut my workload down by 2/3, because people had a resource finally. But this is a great event. This is the best, to me, this is the best convention for any kind of writers.
Yeah, it seems very supportive.
The nice thing about the thriller community, unlike others I've been in, is it's not a zero-sum game. The nice thing about the thriller community, unlike others I've been in, is it's not a zero-sum game. The nice thing about the thriller community, unlike others I've been in, is it's not a zero-sum game. let's say, take me and Steve Berry. If somebody has read all Steve Berry's books and waiting for his next one to come out, and Steve says, "Hey, Shane, he wrote a good book here. You should check him out." They'll buy my books without abandoning Steve Berry, because readers are always looking for new authors. Because none of us can write 100 books a year. Well, maybe James Patterson can, but I can. I can anyway. And so it's not zero sum. We can all help each other get our books into the hands of readers without losing. And that creates a support system for people that's very crucial, especially for new authors trying to break into the market. To say, hey, you got some friends up here. We've sold some books. I've sold 4. Steve has sold 12. James has sold hundreds. We're all on a continuum, and we all help each other out. And that's very different from other industries where if you're going to buy a widget, you're going to buy a widget from A or B vendor. You're not going to buy it from both, because you just need a widget. Books are like movies. You always want more. There's always an unlimited supply, and we can supply them, so we can help each other do that.
That's great. And now tell me about your book that's coming out next.
This is cool. My first 3 books were serial killer thrillers set in the Chicago suburbs. And they did very well. They were national bestsellers, Kindle bestsellers. But I didn't want to write a 4th serial killer, Lady Cop in Peril, kind of thing. I liked them, but I was really out of ideas for what to do, to poor Emily next. How can I abuse her even more? So I decided I wanted to write a big global thriller, terrorism thriller, and I have a real deep interest and passion for the Cold War and World War II eras. So what I did was found a doomsday weapon that actually was created in World War II, developed in the Cold War, and then sunk in the oceans after we decided, well, we had nuclear weapons, so we don't need this other weapon anymore. So they sunk them, and in real life, a few of them have washed onto shore. Small ones that exploded and killed some people because everybody thought, out of sight, out of mind, so we'll just bury them in the ocean, you'll never see them again, forgetting that there's tidals, there's tides and waves and earthquakes and typhoons and stuff washes out, debris washes out. So I read that, and I thought, this could be kind of cool. What if a doomsday weapon from the Cold War washed into the hands of a modern-day narco-terrorist in Mexico who has a huge grudge against the United States because we did something bad to his family? What if he got a hold of this doomsday weapon and decided to use it against us? How would we stop it? Who would be the hero? And I created one. So it's coming out next May in trade paperback, ebook, and audiobook, and it's supposed to be really big. At least that's what my publisher, Tantor Publishing, says it's going to be, and
That's what they tell you.
I choose to believe them because they are good and pure, and would never lie to me. But we're all really excited by it. I'm particularly excited because I like the big landscape to paint on. The drama of a world-changing event, a world-changing weapon. Millions of people are in danger. Our country is in danger. And
the stakes are very high.
Very high. In the serial killer books, they were fun to write, but the stakes were personal to the cop and the serial killer. But it didn't change the town, it didn't change the country, it didn't change the world. It was just, if police detective Emily died, that would be a tragedy, but the rest of the world would go on. If this doomsday bomb goes off, life as we know it in the United States changes forever. So that's why to me it was so fun writing, and then I got to spend a lot of time researching an era that I like, in the Cold War.
Oh, wow, it sounds great.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Well, thanks so much for speaking with us.
I appreciate it, and thank you for asking me to be on the show.